The American Heart Association suggests a max limit of 26 grams of sugar per day for women and 36 grams of sugar per day for men. But the reality is that Americans consume over 31 teaspoons of sugar per day. That's 3 times more than the suggested daily max limit. Are you addicted to sugar like I am? Maybe the word addicted is a bit strong, because if I really had to, I can put that Wonder Bar or Twix away, despite craving these things on a weekly basis. But I do know that I consume way too much sugar than what is recommended for the average female. And that has me concerned and wondering what overconsumption of sugar does to my health. I want to begin by saying that sugar by itself isn't the devil in the cupboard, especially the sugar that is naturally found in fruit and vegetables. But the excess consumption of processed sugar, such as corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup, has many experts worried about the detrimental health consequences. So always check the ingredients and try to stay away from food items that have either of those highly processed sugars. In a book called The Case Against Sugar, the author, Gary Taubes, argues that our collective sweet tooth isn't just making us fat. It could be killing us in ways that we can't even imagine. Let's look at 4 potential ways that sugar could be killing us if we don't keep our processed sugar consumption in check. Number 1. It could be feeding our cancer. It is believed that consuming sugar leads to insulin resistance, a condition in which cells don't respond to insulin effectively, causing the body to produce more of the hormone to compensate. Scientists have found that cancer cells require insulin to grow. Number 2. It increases the risk of dementia. Researchers also believe that insulin's resistance, associated with high sugar intake, can impair some brain functions and weaken the brain's ability to clear away the plaques and tangles, which are thought to cause Alzheimer's disease. Number 3. It's addictive. Sugar consumption can create a short-term high and a spark of energy in the body. Some studies have suggested that sugar is as addictive as cocaine. People often enjoy the dopamine release sugar brings. However, due to the addictive nature of sugar, long-term health effects like obesity and diabetes are a risk of sugar overindulgence. And lastly, number 4, it leads to heart disease. Eating too much sugar can lead to excess insulin, which is linked to high blood pressure and ultimately heart disease. According to Taubes, too much insulin stimulates the nervous system, increasing heart rate and constricting blood vessels. Over the course of a 15-year study on added sugar and heart disease, the overall results were that the odds of dying from heart disease rose in tandem with the percentage of sugar in a diet, and that was true regardless of a person's age, sex, physical activity, and body mass index. Now that we know the health consequences of eating too much added sugar, did you know that there are 75 different names for sugar that you may see in the ingredients list? You do look at the food labels when you go grocery shopping, don't you? Well, if you don't, maybe you should play a little game next time that you're at the grocery store and see if you can spot any of these alternative names for sugar. Check them out. It is not shocking to learn that people in North America consume sugar at alarming amounts. And it's not just from eating cake, candy, and drinking fruit juices or pop. Sugar is found in many processed food and is almost impossible to avoid. Sugar consumption is a tricky thing to control because the food industry often adds it where consumers might not even think to check. For example, sugar is added to ketchup, salad dressings, barbecue sauces, baked beans, yogurt, store-bought coleslaw, and pasta sauces. And just to clarify, Sugars are carbohydrates, which serve as the main energy source for the body. When you eat sugars from natural sources, such as fruit, you're not only getting the energy source, but also many other nutrients. For example, when you eat an apple, you're getting fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, and B6, as well as a boost of important minerals like calcium, potassium, and phosphorus. But when you eat refined sugar, you're eating something that's been highly processed to the point that all of the nutrients of that fruit or plant have been extracted out until all that you are left with is sugar. In other words, you are left with empty calories with no nutritional value. Are you curious to see which countries consume the most amount of sugar per person? Remember that the suggested daily sugar intake is only 26 grams for females and 36 grams for males. Check out the bar graph and see if your country makes the list. So, will you cut down on your sugar intake? I know I will. Although the American Heart Association suggests that 6 to 9 teaspoons of added sugar a day is acceptable, I will strive to add zero processed sugar to my food, unless it comes naturally in the form of fruit and vegetables. Now I know that I will have few cheat days, and as mentioned before, many processed foods already contain added sugar, but I will limit those items too, knowing how harmful processed sugar is to my health. Wait up! Glad you're still here. Just long enough to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel and get more health and food related content with a twist of humor. See you on the next one.